In part 2 of this one-part series, we looked at Michael Jones' response to the argument from God's hiddenness. That argument basically says that a perfectly loving God would not keep his presence hidden from those genuinely seeking him. That's a very simple summary, but it'll suffice for the purposes of this video. Let's look at the first part of Michael's response again.
How do you respond to the hiddenness of God, this argument? And I'm not going to you can still man it for me, but the idea being, if God exists and wants me to be saved, and I need to accept that salvation in some capacity, then I need to first at least know that he exists. And yet there are atheists who really would believe in Jesus Christ and God if they could.
Would they?
As mentioned in the previous video, it's like Michael doesn't even know there are people in this world who change their minds and their entire worldviews all the time based on evidence, or by finding out that the evidence they thought they had wasn't up to snuff. Check out the nuns, Mike, the folks who no longer believe in religion or go to church. Yes, a lot of them grew up not believing, but that's because their parents left the faith when they were younger. Believe it or not, some of those people left religion because they examined their faith and found themselves unable to say, yeah, I believe this.
Don't give me this nonsense that if I just gave you the evidence, you'd change your worldview.
I'm reminded of the line, everything he says is either projection or confession. Is Mike telling us about his own journey here? Has he looked at the evidence, become unconvinced of his beliefs, but is unwilling to change his worldview? Or is that just for other people? Maybe he's having very little success pushing his bullshit, and this is his excuse. I would never have answered that question the way Michael did, because I know people can and do make dramatic life changes. Yes, based on evidence, not just the emotional appeal of a harvest crusade or an altar call. I've seen it in myself and others. I get the emails. I read the comments. I know Pine Creek Doug credits Mr. Deity with playing a part in his deconversion. And I've seen him deconvert others, including some really bright, thoughtful young people like Nathan Ormond from the Digital Gnosis channel. Mike, isn't your entire religion about changing people's minds and hearts? You should try doing that sometime with the evidence. Wait, I'm sorry. I forget. You don't have any.
We know from studying the brain that when your beliefs are attacked, even little beliefs, the lizard part of your brain lights up. Flight or flight response.
So this is something I think Michael just can't understand. Having left the nonsense behind and accepted the harsh realities of life, that flight or fight instinct isn't a reality for people like me. Because we don't have anything more to lose when it comes to our worldview. We already lost it. But for Christians, that fear instinct is a feature. It's there to keep people from investigating, from doubt, from honestly evaluating the evidence. You have so much to lose, Michael. I don't. Your religion, your worldview, is your existential security blanket. My worldview is not. That gives me the advantage. It makes it possible to live with a lack of fear and a mental agility you'll never know as a Christian. You have to be right, Mike. I don't. And in so many ways, I'd be thrilled to find out that I'm mistaken. So I live a life open to being wrong and with very few beliefs beyond the axiomatic, the inevitable, and or what can be demonstrated. Do you realize how many beliefs you have to carry around all the time? And do you realize what a house of cards that is? No wonder you live ever on the cusp of fight or flight. One wrong move and the whole damn thing comes tumbling down. You live in this massive web of allegiance, Michael, with so many cascading, dependent, tenuous beliefs that need to be true, supported, defended, and kept from doubt. I don't. So I really can go wherever the evidence takes me. I'm free. But here's a good test for you. Give us the evidence, and let's see. Not arguments, not claims from thousands of years ago made by anonymous non-eyewitnesses writing things down 40 to 65 years after the fact. And not excuses for why the evidence isn't there. Just give us some actual evidence, and let's see how someone like me responds. Show me the evidence for a young Earth and universe. No, wait, sorry, I forgot. That was transformed into a metaphor when science, actual evidence, showed it to be nonsense. Okay, then let's take the Exodus. The claims for an historical event are pretty clear. Millions of Hebrews enslaved in Egypt, leaving and wandering in the desert for 40 years. If that really happened, there should be all kinds of actual evidence. So show me. Don't just ask, would they? Would they really change their minds if presented with actual evidence? Give us the evidence, and let's find out together. Once again, I'm me. Thanks for watching. Hey gang, thanks again for watching. I want to make you aware of a couple things regarding the operations of the Mr. Deity channel. So first, the channel will be returning to its brutal mockery, ridicule, and contempt for religion, with a new special and temporary focus on Catholicism. Second, I need to make you aware of the fact that we've been operating at a net loss each month now for a while, which is simply not sustainable. If this continues, we will be forced to shut down operations in 6 months. So no more ridicule, no more mockery, no more contempt. Having said all that, I do not believe this is the end of the channel. But it's absolutely critical that we bring this synastry to the break-even point financially. We need new monthly donors on Patreon, and we need it now more than ever, which is why I need to ask you to become a regular monthly donor. If you see value in what we produce here on the channel, if you'd like to continue laughing at the nonsense with me, then please become a monthly supporter today. If we can't make this channel work financially, I will be forced to convert to Catholicism, partnering with Cameron Bertuzzi in his new grift, joining him at the Vatican, kissing the ring, and perhaps even, I don't know, lighting some candles or something. As you know, I have not been a fan of the Catholic Church. I like young children, I do, but just not in that way. Nor am I a fan of fascist dictators, misogyny, book bans and censorship, terrorizing Jews and Muslims, covering up child rape, murdering witches, indulgences, inquisitions, imprisoning and murdering scientists, or popes who think satirists like myself deserve whatever physical violence we get. For me, this would be a fate worse than heaven. So once again, if you can afford to, please head over to patreon.com/Mr. Deity to support the channel. And to keep me from the tens of thousands of Hail Marys and Our Fathers, I'd have to say to make up for all the damage I do here on a regular basis. To everyone who's already supporting the channel, especially my wonderful patrons, thank you. And I'll see you again real soon.